How do I break up with my 25F boyfriend, 25 meters, who is suicidal even though I know I need to? How to break up with my 25F partner, 27 meters, and get over the guilt of knowing I will be taking everything away from him? Hi. Mine and my boyfriend's relationship needs to come to an end. I have no trust for him. He lies to me constantly about everything. He spends money we don't have. He is addicted to looking at other women online and paying for their nudes. He doesn't work. He has a cannabis habit that I hate. I am ready to move on. I have lost my love for him. He is miserable all the time and has a short temper. I am tired of coming home to a horrible environment. I am tired of being the only one making money. I hate having sex with him. He annoys me. He is really depressed. He talks about how much better everyone would be without him and how much he hates life and how much he struggles. I want to leave him, but he has nowhere to go other than his parents and they dislike him. He will be miserable there. I can't give him the house because I am the only tenant on the tenancy and he has no way of paying rent. My nan is the landlord, so I would be screwing over her only source of income other than her pension. He would have to be evicted anyway. He has a son from a previous relationship that lives with us 3 days a week. I would be taking that away from him. We have a 10-month-old daughter. I would be taking her away from him half the week if not more. I am 14 weeks pregnant. I will be fine. I can afford rent and bills. I pay it all anyway. I would be so much happier. I know I would be sad a lot because I really wanted the rest of our lives together, but he is just not the person I want to spend my life with anymore. I know this is the best thing to do for mine and my children's future. I don't know how to do it. How do I rip a suicidal man's whole life away from him so that I can be happy? I just can't bring myself to do it. I hate this situation. I am his only support system. I don't want to hurt him, but I don't want to waste my life with a waster. I don't want to ruin my children's childhood. You are taking nothing away from him. His behavior is the reason he's in the position he's in. If you are concerned that he is suicidal, call the authorities. That is not your responsibility. Your only responsibility are your children. If he wants, he will get help. If not, you don't have to sacrifice for him. Rip it off like a band-aid and stick to your decision, for your and your kids' sake. On the practical side, you call the police for a wellness check if he threatens suicide. They will take him to care if he needs to go. If you think he will be aggressive and violent when you break up, you call the police to ease your burdens and fears. You are not a specialist. Repeat that over and over to yourself. You are literally not trained or equipped to help his mental health struggles. Don't feel bad about letting him go. If anything, feel bad about staying because you actually aren't helping him. You do not know how to help or better his mental health like a professional would, and might even be making it worse by prolonging it. Think about it for your kids, too. They are young now and don't need to grow up in this. I'm gonna throw some hard honesty out there. He's manipulating you. He has everything of his paid for by you and he gets to act like a child. He says he's sorry for cheating and the financial abuse and the drugs, but I guarantee he's not sorry in the least. If he was truly sorry, he would have made the effort and actually turned himself around, rather than mope about, "Babe, I am so sorry, I'll never do it again. I promise it'll get better. I don't know what's wrong with me. You must hate me. I am the worst person ever." Those are all manipulative lines to get you to stay. Do not feel sorry for breaking up and kicking him out. Do not let him manipulate you anymore. You and your children deserve better. Seriously. He's not going to be happy and is dragging you down with it. Don't blackmail yourself with this. It's better to have one person happy, you, than both of you unhappy. Just break it off and be honest about it that he is emotionally dragging you down to the bottom of Lake Misery. You can't live your life for someone else. Often a person will threaten suicide as a means of creating guilt so you will stay. You say he will have to go to his parents and they don't get along. He won't be homeless at least, and then only one of you is miserable instead of both. If you continue to enable him by staying, he has no incentive to make improvements in his life. Recover your happiness. Don't let it be stolen with threats that he will kill himself or guilt that his situation will not be a happy one. Most important thing to know. You aren't ripping the man's whole life away. He ripped it from himself by making a life full of poor choices. You break up with him and don't look back. You are not responsible for the actions of others. Just have to do it. His mental health isn't your problem. It's his. Girl, that's not your problem anymore. Everything you told Reddit, just bring it up to him and move on. Abort the current pregnancy if it isn't too late. It is far easier being a single mother of one. You are not responsible for his mental health. You are responsible for you, your daughter, and your soon-to-be son or daughter's physical and emotional well-being. The situation you are in is not good for any of you. You know what needs to happen. Do it, and do it quickly for your own well-being. How he responds is not your fault. Where he goes is not your problem. If he had interest in being the partner you need, he would have made an effort to change his behavior. The breakup is because of his decisions. You have no reason to feel guilty for making a better life for yourself and your children. If you are genuinely concerned about him harming himself if you break up with him, I'd look up resources first. If your area has a mobile crisis unit, have that number on standby and call as soon as he makes a threat. If no mobile crisis unit, you can do the same thing with the non-emergency police number. You go through with it, and then you call 911 if he expresses plans for self-harm. He is not allowed to hold you hostage with those kinds of actions. Your boyfriend sounds like my late wife. Perpetually depressed, chronically underemployed, and unable to see the joy in just about anything. Told me multiple times that I was the only reason she hadn't killed herself. Because someone has to take care of me. Yeah, I know. Projection. And if I left, she'd have no reason to stay alive. Eventually she died of cancer. Not suicide. But before she got sick, the scenario I'd keep playing in my head, but never got the nerve to actually follow through on, was to invoke the Baker Act the next time she threatened suicide, and move out during the 72-hour hold. From there, let the chips fall where they may. Sounds cold, but when you've been lighting yourself on fire for 20+ years to keep someone else warm, those sorts of things will go through your head. Trust me. I just want to add, have someone there with you when you break the news. You are in a very vulnerable situation, and an erratic suicidal person could try and harm you and your baby. I don't have a single nice thing to say about that so-called man you're with. So I'll just say that your only responsibility is to yourself and your kids. What he does after you dump his ass is not your business. Take out a life insurance policy and then break up. He'll stay alive just to spite you. The constant lies alone are enough to break up over. The rest is just 7 trunks worth of baggage he's dumping on you and making you lug around for him, while he spends your money. If he's such a prolific liar, how do you know that he isn't lying about how bad his depression is in order to get you to carry him? He sounds manipulative. TBH. I don't know the guy, and I can't say he isn't depressed enough to want to kill himself. But with a child and another on the way, well, As far as I'm concerned, he should have had a hard look at himself in the mirror and had a real heart-to-heart with number one by now. Leave him. Do it gently and with kindness, and let him know that his kids are still his kids, no matter what. Then do what you can to create a healthy home for those little ones to grow up in and thrive. The rest isn't your burden to carry. As another poster said, just rip off the band-aid and move on. If he does kill himself, it won't have been your doing. If you did it, it would be called murder. But if he decides that his own life isn't worth fighting for, then so be it. As of right now, you're both in very deep water. He refuses to swim or learn. He's using you as his flotation device. Doesn't seem to mind climbing on you or dunking your head under. And meanwhile, you're just treading water, fighting for his dead weight to not drown. Good luck. Up. I'm so sorry you and your babies are going through this. I did this for a 18-year relationship. Gave myself for him to be happy. 10 years in, I was done with me mental abuse, his addiction, but I stayed another 8 years. When I left, I felt awful and regretted wasting my life for him. Don't do that. I'm 40 now and wish I had chosen myself.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.